Sorry, I farted.
Ooh. How's it going, everyone? How you guys doing tonight? Today we're from this beautiful world. Welcome to a Beer and Cheese Tuesday. And hey, Tater Dom, what's up? Cheers. Want to welcome, of course, Bumpy Isms to the panel. Cheers, Bumpy. Always good to have you here with me. So I'm not alone. Yeah. I encourage more people to come up and bring a beer and cheese if you'd like. It would be great. So yeah, we're gonna show you some pairings of some beer and cheese pairing this week. Not in any alcohol like last week. That is every second week of the month. So we'll see how this works. Hopefully Bumpy has something good for us. Let's bring him up now. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm just trying to cut some right now. Oh yeah. So I was telling Beer Man right before we got on here that I'm gonna be doing kind of like a series within his beer and cheese thing here, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll kind of let you know. I just cut off 3 now. Let me show you what the cheese looks like. You can see that?
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah. So you see all that in there? So what this is, it's a Market Basket brand cheese. It's a Monterey Jack cheese. And it's habanero pepper. You see there it says hot. So I've got a couple other cheeses that have different peppers in them, and then you go up in heat. So
Nice.
Yeah. So next week I'll have one that's hotter than this, and then the next week I'll have one hotter than that one. So we'll see if it gets unbearable, like say this one's super hot and I can't bear it. Well, then next week's going to suck even worse for me, and then the following week will be even worse. So there you go. There's the little surprise on that.
All right.
So habanero pepper, Monterey Jack cheese, and they didn't skim at all. It's loaded, like I said, like I showed you there, loaded with peppers in there. Pretty big block of cheese too. I was gonna do an IPA with this, and then I'm like, it's Monterey Jack cheese. I don't know. Maybe I should do something a little softer. So I have this. I'm not gonna be able to read the name of it, I don't think.
Oh, I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. In the yellow, it says brewed and canned by Urban Chestnut Brewing Company, St. Louis, Missouri, for Freigeist Beer Culture or Beer Culture. They do have a little ghost, so I think Freigeist, maybe it means something about like frightening or something. Frightening beer culture, maybe. I don't know. Freigeist Otter Otekalong. So yeah, an unfiltered Kolsch. It's a little thing. It says Freigeist is the experimental offshoot of Cologne's revolutionary small. They got it in white writing, and then they have that ghosty cloud going through, so it's really hard to read.
Right.
Cologne's revolutionary small brewery. Brostel. Here we strive to break the chains of industrial brewing by reviving and updating Germany's unique historical beer styles. It says it's rich, hoppy, and complex. Eau de Cologne. Is that what that means? Haute Cologne? Eau de.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
Kolsch is a traditional unfiltered version of the city's local specialty. 5% ABV. Finally found that.
All right.
Let's just pour it and see how unfiltered this Kolsch is.
Nice.
German beers are good, but it's really hard to read. Like it's like sometimes I don't know if it's the name of the beer, if it's the brewery, and I can't even pronounce any of it. So
yeah. I think I've seen that here. I might have had this because I've gotten those guys. Yeah.
Right. It's brewed by an American brewery for them.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Ooh, damn! Look at that.
Yeah, it's unfiltered. It's got a nice tight white frothy head. The color of the beer, depending on how much light you have behind it. I kind of call this like the melted lemon lollipop. It's got that nice kind of lemon sucker coloration to it.
Yeah.
So yellow. It's a deep yellow. All right. Well, we'll get around to smells and tastes of all this stuff when we come back. Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers, dude. Thanks, Bumpy.
Ooh.
Oh. Smell good, dude?
Yeah, it's definitely different than any Kolsch.
Awesome.
Before, so.
Cheers. Hey, cheers, one tonight. All right. Good to see you. I gotta get my beer. All right. So, I know you've had this. I know you've had it, and several of others have had it. So I paid $6.95 for this bottle from North Coast Brewing Company. It's the 2024 Old Stock Ale. I probably shouldn't drink it tonight. I probably should age it a little bit. What is the? So it's 11%. It's a biggie. I was thinking sweet, and then maybe a salty, funky with that sweet might go well. So let's go ahead and pour the beer first, and then I'll tell you what cheese I'm talking about. I need my opener. Okay, so 2024's very lovely, lovely, lovely. So an old ale. Pouring a really nice Auburn. It looks dark. Well, there you go. Now, let me get my flashlight. It's like really, yeah, you got a really nice, really like a burnt copper, or kind of an Auburn, or what would you call that color? I don't know. You get where I'm going though. Clear beer, really nice, clean, clear looking beer. Great. Oh, I'm not reviewing it. Jesus, what's wrong with me? There you go. That's the beer. 11%. And then the cheese I was thinking of, I've done this before. It's been a while, but say tangy yet mellow. It's a buttermilk blue cheese, and it's from Roth Cheese out of Wisconsin, and it's real crumbly and oily and wet, stinky. So I hope that goes good with that. I hope it's pungent enough to kick through the 11% imagine sweetness of the beer, more or less, but we'll see. I haven't had this in a while, so there you go. That's that. So now it's time to do the full pairing. We're going to go ahead and bring up Bumpy back up and start it. Here we go.
I've got all the dogs, well, besides Telly, surrounding me. But they can't have this because it's got hot peppers in it. Sorry, dogs. I've yet to really get into the aromas. I haven't tasted the beer yet. Haven't tasted the cheese. I definitely wanted to taste the beer before the cheese because I didn't want to wreck my palate with much how spicy it is. I've had this cheese, it hasn't been for a long time. So, but yeah, the aromas on this, it's like super like candy, citrus, floral, bready. It smells really nice. It's got like a real kind of like citrus zestiness to it and stuff. So maybe like a honey bread,
Ooh.
like toast or something that's drizzled with honey. And that's maybe where that floralness is like kind of not coming from. It's not made with honey, but
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive in for a sip. Cheers.
All right, dude. Cheers.
It has this kind of candy flavor to it. Almost like a lollipop. Hey, the look of the beer is coming through in the flavor. There is a sweet breadiness. And then it's like candied lemon orange or lemon orange candies. Little suckers that would come in like a clear little wrapper. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe a slight bit of like a doughiness too, coming from the malt. Bitterness, I'd say, is on the mild moderate. Does have a little bit of kind of a floralness. A little bit, it does get a little bit grassy for the finish. That's kind of where that mild bitterness is. It's kind of a lingering grassy type bitter tone, but I think you get more sweetness up front than you do bitterness in the rear. Yeah, it's like a medium body. Carbonation is, I'd say, like a light side, like medium. Yeah, to medium. We'll just say medium. Kind of feeling the bubbles now after I drank it down. And little snaps on the tongue. Drying. It has a drying finish to it. All right. I think the aromas on it kind of hit me with more surprise than what the flavors are kind of like. So we'll get back to it and all that, and we'll score it later. But let's try some of this cheese.
All right.
So I cut those larger chunks up into littler ones. I'm getting a lot of the vegetal smell of the habanero. The cheese itself doesn't really have a smell. It's Monterey Jack, so I'm not really picking up on anything, except I am getting the vegetal habanero. I bet you they put some jalapeno in there too. I think I smell jalapeno. Yes. Monterey Jack cheese, pasteurized, no salt, cheese cultures, enzymes, habanero, and jalapeno peppers.
No.
I was getting kind of, if you have like the jalapenos that are pickled, you know, the ones that come in the jars, the pre-sliced ones. I was kind of picking up that kind of a smell. All right, let's taste it. I don't think it's going to be too hot. It's not burning my nostrils or anything. So cheers. Or cheese.
Jesus.
Nice, buttery, creamy Monterey Jack cheese. Getting the flavors of the habanero and jalapeno. It does have that kind of pickled jalapeno flavor a little bit. Crunchy. with all the pepper bits that are on it. It does have a decent amount of flake, right. I just swallowed a pepper flake. That kind of hit me right in the back of the throat. It does have a building heat. Kind of starts off mild and then really start to get some spices to it. So yeah, this one is. I think it's got a good amount of spicy heat to it, but not overpowering. So doable. Take another slice. Goes right back. You get that nice creamy, kind of buttery Monterey. A little bit of salinity as well. I'm starting to pick up on. Yeah, and then just that vegetal and the flavors that come from the habanero and jalapeno, and then the spice starts to build again. But it's nice that it kind of coats your mouth with the cheese, and you kind of do like a reset. All right, so let's eat some cheese, drink some beer, see what happens.
All right, beers. Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof.
Go out. Don't use your head to shut the door and get outside. All right. Cooper had to go potty, I guess. Force him out. I have to redo that. I get distracted. All right. It takes a while to get back to that heat. Like I said, it kind of coats the mouth. I like that, though. I like how it's not just like, oh, I ate some hot, spicy cheese and now that's all I get, you know. It's nice that it kind of you're able to go through all the say the flavors work very well very well with the beer. It does kind of take away, it makes it so the beer doesn't quite taste like those candies like I was talking about, like candied orange. It kind of mutes a bit of the candy factor of it. Still has a kind of citrusy, still getting some nice bready, doughy notes. And then yeah, the heat and stuff starts to kind of blend in with that kind of ending grassy type bitterness, and I'm left with a lingering spicy heat on my palate. Just a very mild feeling of possible sweat around the brow. It's not too bad for this cheese. I like it. Let's drink beer, eat cheese.
All right. Beers are cheese.
You're the one that has like the big chunks of stuff there too.
Yeah. It'd be delicious.
It's fine, but what it does is it takes away from the flavor of the Monterey Jack. So I'm kind of left. I'm just kind of chewing on a substance, waiting for that heat from the peppers to kind of start to react and hit, and then they do. But yeah, so eating the cheese after drinking the beer, it with that bitterness and everything from the beer still lingering on the palate, it kind of masks the nice kind of buttery, creamy flavors of the cheese. So it takes away from it a bit that way. But it's still, I mean, there's nothing disgusting about it. It just subtracts from the cheese a bit.
Hmm.
All right.
All right. Well, cool.
Right.
Thanks, Bumpy. All right. Nice reviews there. All right, let's go ahead and yeah, I'm glad that worked out, at least on the beer, cheese before beers. That's always the best combination, I think, but it's always nice to try it both ways. Just to see. All right, so I was already starting to review this when I was showing it, but you guys got a good look at it. Nice, I'd say burnt copper, or some kind of like burgundy color, or some kind of ruby garnet or something. It looks really dark brown, like kind of a darker brown in the light. But enough said. Khaki color head, medium rising bubbles on the nose. Sweet caramel, caramel malts, a lot of breadiness, caramel maltiness, maybe a little plum coming through. Possible raisin plum kind of combo. Smells clean. There's a slight red apple that I'm getting anyway. Some people might get different things, but that's what I get. It definitely smells like it's sweet. It's got a sweetness to the smell in my nose. It's kind of it smells strong. It's got a strong smell to it, like a high ABV. Yeah, it's nice though. Smells good. Kind of has a leather, or not leather. Dried fruit, kind of like the fruit pull off stuff that you used to eat when you were a kid or whatever. Kind of has that thing. A little bit of cherry, I want to say. There's a slight cherry. Slight cherry in there. There's some kind of cherryish like thing. Little stone fruity cherry. Pit fruit. But yeah, at the nipple, it's looking really nice. It's got a really like bright red kind of color to it. It's very interesting spectrum of color through this beer. Good, decent retentions, holding up well with a nice ring for the percentage that it is at 11%. Now let's take a drink. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's do this. I bought it warm, so it's about 50, probably 55 degrees right now. Room temp, and it's nice. It's bringing out all the flavors. It's a very soft mouthfeel, and the body is medium, still medium, even though it's 11. It's still got a nice medium body. I'd say medium full, like full medium for sure. Somewhat thick. It does have a tartness to it and a sweetness in the front. You're getting that kind of caramel, fruity caramel, like almost like a cherry, plum, kind of thing, like I was getting in the nose, and like that dried fruit kind of thing. I don't know. It's interesting. It's really good. I like it. Like I said, I haven't had this in a while. It's good to go back on things, try them out again, see where your palate, align your palate with certain styles, and see where they are. But I haven't had an old ale in a while. This is it's putting off a peppery hot finish as far as the heat of the strong beer that it is. I'm getting a nice little burn going up down my chest. Really nice winter warmer for sure. Mainly in the front, you're getting the sweetness as usual, but it starts to taper off into like a slight. You kind of get the bittering from it in the finish, and the slight dryness. It almost has a Robitussin thing, but it's dry enough to where it doesn't. You don't perceive it as that anymore. You know, it's like, okay, it's kind of going Robitussin, and then it dries off, and you don't really get that anymore. So it's not really like medical cherry or medical this or medical that, as Robitussin's a cough medicine, but it does have kind of that feeling of, I don't know, that taste kind of thing comes through, but it's nice. It kind of like dry chalkiness in the finish, little bit of bitter, very well balanced for the style, made very well, I'd say. I don't know if they barrel this or not, age it or not. I have no idea. But I'm feeling really warm right now in the head. Oh my God. Yeah, brewed in Fort Bragg, California. North Coast is from Fort Bragg. Okay, North Coast Brewing has some great beers. Yeah, so that's that. Very warming. I'm really liking it. I think the tangy and sweetness is going to go really well with this buttermilk blue cheese. So that's what we got again. Just show that one more time for those that didn't see it. And we'll go ahead and get like one of these nice wet ones. Oh no!
Get a wet one.
I'm telling you, bro. But let me show you the veinage. Is kind of like a dirty, gross vein in there. It's mainly white though. It's slippery and oily. You can see it's just kind of white, but it does have some veinage going through it. Some of that moldy kind of blue mold shit. But on the nose, I mean, it's breakable too. I mean, it just broke right out of my hand. I can't even pick it up without it breaking. Very oily and slick. It just breaks. So let's get one with, I get a couple chunks of this. We'll smell it. So yeah, you get if I can keep it in my fingers, you get that, a slight kind of, you get that moldy, musky kind of smell, aroma. It's kind of like got a kind of a tangy, like a tangy kind of nutty, like a nutty kind of thing or something. Nutty, tangy. I wouldn't say nutty. It just smells. It smells like dirty feet. It smells like dirty feet, like for dirty socks, like dirty wet socks. With that hint of, it's got that funky grossness of sock, and then you're getting that cow milky cheese. It smells like a spoiled milk, kind of like or a sour milk or buttermilk, kind of like buttermilk in a way. All right, we got to eat this. Cheers, cheesers.
Cheers.
Somewhat firm. Firm, chewable. It's kind of chewy. It doesn't really necessarily melt in the mouth. It was melting in my hands, but it wasn't melting in my mouth. Now it's starting to get more of a buttery slickness in the mouth, kind of oily. That piece that I got doesn't have as much of that blue in it. I need to find one with the vein, but that's I'm getting more of that. Yeah, well, it's a buttermilk blue, so it's probably using buttermilk. I was just said, but it smells like buttermilk. I didn't even think about that. Got some of the vein, some of the moldy sock in my mouth. It's really chewy, actually. It's kind of like a rubbery chewy. I wouldn't say rubbery. It's kind of it's just firm, and it starts to slowly melt as you chew it. Very oily, salty, tangy, tart. There is a slight nuttiness in there. Kind of drying as you take it down. It starts to kind of dry your throat a little bit. Makes you kind of want something to drink it down with. They say to drizzle with honey and pair with gin, which actually sounds like it might work. But let's go ahead and when I clenched my tongue to my palate, I got that footy locker room kind of gross medicinal kind of ness from the veinage. All right, we're gonna chew the cheese before beer. I can't believe how chewy it is. I thought it would be more meltable in the mouth. You actually have to kind of chew it to get that going. I've had some blue cheeses that just like totally go away right when they touch your tongue. It must be the buttermilk. Oh, believe it or not, I think a Gorgonzola would have been better with this. The buttermilk cheese, this cheese is kind of a little more mellow compared to, like, say, an actual blue cheese that has a real stankness. it goes good, but the beer kind of takes over the flavors of the cheese. But the beer does, however, knock the cheese out of your mouth, and that dryness I was talking about, it kind of quenches the mouth. But then you start to get, I'm starting to get heavy high off this beer. I haven't had 11% in a long time, and this is like really hitting me. I had a few beers before the show. Better slow down. No, this I think honestly, I'll get my last thoughts on this, but yeah, that's the beer. The cheese is still in my mouth, and I'm still tasting it, but the beer kind of like smothered over it, and maybe it'll be better beer before cheese. Let's try that. Might be one of those kind. That raisin grain, that raisin plum. You know, I don't really, it's not really my favorite style, and it kind of works, I think, better beer before cheese, because the cheese kind of takes away some of the sweet, cloy kind of. I mean, it's dry in the front though; it's kind of more cloying, and you're getting like the fruits that I don't really like raisin. I'm not really a big raisin guy, so it kind of helps to kind of taper that off, take it away, and then you just want to have another drink, to just kind of see, just because you need something wet on your palate. I think it's honestly be better with like a lighter beer, something more on the 8%, 7 to 8% range. Maybe even like a West Coast or something. Oh, let's try it real quick. I'll try my Westie with this real quick just to see. We got some time. Just curious. Education. Yeah, it's a little too strong of a beer for the cheese. No, even that doesn't work. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what would go good with this. I'll save the cheese. Maybe I'll do another style of beer next year, or next week, next week. It's been a while, but that'd be a really old cheese.
Get extra
yeah.
blue.
But yeah, it's not the greatest pairing, but both of them. We'll get my last thoughts. How about that? There we go. That's done. Let's go ahead and get last thoughts going. Let's bring Bumpy back up and tell us what he thinks, scores, this and that. Here we go. Cheers.
Is that the Grateful Dead Scully cap?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the. It's got that. Yeah. Love it.
So yeah, we'll start off with the cheese. I mean, for being a store brand, I mean, Market Basket's or Demula's been around for I don't know how many years, but they've been around for a while. Originally started in Massachusetts, so I don't know if they proudly cheese Wisconsin. I think that answers it right there. I don't think they make their own cheese. Cheese comes from Wisconsin, so there's some cheese maker out there from Wisconsin that's making this for Market Basket. Really good cheese. The Monterey Jack, like I said, it comes through at first. Like, I didn't quite get it, but like by this time I was eating my second little bit of it. That Monterey Jack really, really started to shine through. That buttery, like just creamy thing. The little bit of salt that's in there. The peppers in this are great. It's got enough spice. I mean, I'm happy with this spice. It's got a lingering heat. It's got enough heat. And this would probably be like one of my go-to type of like hot cheeses. Like I said, I do have 2 more cheeses that have hotter peppers in each one of those. So we'll see if the other ones are just too hot or if they still work. But I really like this one. I would throw this cheese in the excellent range.
Nice.
I think it's if you're you love habanero, you like jalapeno. I think it'd be a good melting cheese as well. I think this would go really well on like if you made like a macaroni and you wanted to make your own macaroni and cheese. So you shred this up, melt it over your macaroni, and there you go. You got some nice hot, spicy macaroni and cheese. I think it also make a really good grilled cheese. Man, pizza. I mean, anything, almost anything you can melt cheese on. Burgers, chicken. Oh yeah, make yourself a Monterey chicken sandwich with hot Monterey Jack, habanero.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so fantastic, excellent cheese. Definitely recommend it. That's Market Basket brand, limited edition, habanero pepper, Monterey Jack.
Awesome.
The Kolsch. I was more amazed when I first took my first smell out of it. I was like, ooh, drinking it, it's not my favorite Kolsch. It is a little bit different than some of the, like if you get I don't know what Kolsch what the names are, but there's a few that we get imported right from Cologne, the real Kolsch and our Kolsch style. And yeah, I just kind of prefer those ones over this one. It's still good. I think that the flavor on it though is just a little bit. It kind of has that bit of sweetness to it. That's just a little bit. I wish it was just a little bit more crisp, I guess. Less on the sweet end up front. I mean, it's not super sweet. It's not like drinking some type of sweet, like pastry style sour or stout or anything like that. But still, just based off of style and preference. I'd land it in the very good range, though. Still, I'd probably be like low end to mid range, very good with the beer. As far as the pairing went, I think it went pretty well. I mean, I couldn't really call it excellent, but I think it worked pretty well together. I don't know. I think the lighter style definitely went well with the cheese. So I'm glad I didn't do an IPA with this one because I think the IPA would have totally drowned out a lot of the flavors from the cheese.
Right.
But yeah, that's that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's cool about that. The cold too, it probably helps with the heat too, right? Probably kind of keep the heat down a bit, perhaps, or as far
maybe.
as
I mean, the heat just it kind of comes through when it first drinking. I think it kind of knocked the heat down a little bit. But I mean, this isn't like so hot that it's not an beer. It's not like, oh my gosh.
All right. Yeah.
It's got spice though, because there's been plenty of, I think most of them are just kind of like pepper jack. Like the Monterey Jack with peppers in it, and it's usually like very mild jalapeno.
Yeah.
So so you get it and you're just like, where's there? It's almost like eating peppers, like bell peppers and cheese. There's like hardly any spice. This one brings the spice, which is nice. It's
awesome.
Yeah, they're not lying when they say it's hot. It's somebody that doesn't like spicy food or anything like that would probably think this is too hot for them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that hot, realistically.
Well, we're gonna see what next week brings. All right, dude. Thanks, Bumpy. Appreciate it, man.
Cheers.
Oh yeah. All right, so go over the beer first. Beer is excellent, like top notch, I think, in my opinion. Old stock ale and old ale from I forgot, the North Coast. They put off what's some other ones they have? They have they have the Red Seal. I think that's a red ale. They have some other ones as well. They have a nice Rolled Rasputin, yeah. And then they have a brown ale.
Theolus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yep. And their brown ale, I forgot what that's called, but they have a nice brown ale.
We got a Pilsner that I've never had.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess it's like it's a classic kind of like Pilsner, like it's like a prohibition, a pre-prohibition type.
Oh, I
lager
like
or
the
something.
pre-pro, man. Yeah, I like the pre-prohibition, man. Hell yeah, they're maltier. They don't have all the adjunct.
Yeah, they don't have all the corn and rice and stuff
yeah,
added to them. Adjuncts.
Adjuncts. Yep. Well, cool. Yeah, the beer itself though is really delicious. It's like you heard me talk about it already. I like the mouthfeel, the body. Everything was nice there. The texture. It is heavy, so expect that if you ever buy this and drink it. It's a pretty heavy 11%er. It'll hit you pretty hard. It really warms you up. Finish is nice and dry. It doesn't have that cloy in the finish, so it's kind of nice. It goes up cloy, and then as far as sweet, it goes sweet, and then and fruity and all that stuff, and then starts to dry off real good and real nice in the back. From the alcohol as well, I think is where the dryness is really coming from, as well as a nice balanced bitterness for the style that it is. I don't know what their balance is, BUGU or whatever, bitterness unit, gravity unit balance is for the style, but seems like it's dead on or close enough. I would give the beer a 90. I go 95 out of 100. This absolutely, it's excellent. It's in my opinion. I would definitely get it again. I don't know if I would buy a 4-pack or anything. I'd probably just buy like a single because it's a nice little single to have on the side if you're wanting to kind of get a little boost. Maybe you're drinking light that night and just want something heavy for one, to kind of get you going. So yeah, 90-95. The buttermilk blue is I think more of a beginner level of blue cheese. It's not as blue. Oh boy, look at that guy! I gotta bring him up, dude. I gotta bring you up. Look at him. Hey, buddy. Oh my God, he's cute, dude. Dude, he looks like he needs the hat I have on him. He's so fucking cute, dude. He looks angry.
Yeah, from Mr. Frumpy Face.
The Trumpy face. I love his Doberman Pinscher kind of eyes too. Those little white thing or creamy.
Oh,
color.
like a Rottweiler.
Rottweiler, that's it. Yeah. Excuse me. Still, I'm not sick. I'm still phlegmy though. It sucks.
Yeah, me too. I started feeling better, and then last night I started hacking up a storm again.
Yeah, I got what came out looking like part of my brain one time. I was like, "What in the hell?" It was pink. It was like red. It was a little bloody and dirty and gross. I was like, not to gross everyone out, but
that could be a sign of this. Out of your nose?
Yeah, out of my nose.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant you hacked it up.
Oh no, not out here. Through my nose.
That could be a sign of a severe infection if you have blood coming out of here.
I think it was. I've been using paper towel, and it's kind of rough in the nose. So
yeah,
but
broke a little blood vessel in there.
A little blood vessel or something weird. I'm fucking 50 now, so fuck it. But
beer and cheese, where we talk about mucus.
All right, yeah, that's cool. That's good, and we'll mix that in with our cheese and our beer taste pairings. Yeah, they say drizzle with honey, pair with gin. It sounds like it would really go well with that combination. I think honey on this would be really nice. It's more of a subtle blue cheese. It's not as medical tasting Band-Aidy or anything like that, like some of your blue cheese or gorgonzolas or whatever. But it's oily, slick. It's actually pretty chewy. It's got that buttermilky kind of thick consistency as well. Which is really, really cool. It tastes like buttermilk with a little bit of sockiness, wet sock. But I like it. It's good. I bought it again, and I'll probably buy it again and again in the future. So I'd probably give this like a 90, 94 out of 100, 93, 94. Not bad at all. I'll keep eating these pieces, trying it out. But the pairing I think it was all right. It wasn't great. The beer really took over. Beer before cheese, or cheese before beer. The beer after I drank the beer after chewing some cheese, it seemed to take away the cheese flavor, and I kind of wanted to get more of a balance of that. I was trying to look for salty, and it wasn't as salty as I thought, the cheese. So I kind of probably should have gotten like a some kind of cheddar or something like that. That would be a little more on that side. But the sweetness of the beer, the fruitiness of the beer really took over the cheese, weirdly enough, and took away a lot of that veiny Band-Aid, which, if you like, I like blue cheese. I like that Band-Aidy medical thing. I know it sounds gross to some people, but it's what the cheese is. It's what it's made of. It's its thing, and I just didn't get that there. I don't know. The pairing just didn't work. Same with cheese before beer or beer before cheese. It just didn't work either. So the pairing, I would just give it a straight up 50. We'll just call it a no-go and won't do it again. But hey, it's a learning lesson. It's why we do this show. So yeah. For those that are crazy about wanting to know if a beer goes well with your cheese, thank you for tuning in and listening to this show. All right, let's go ahead and just gonna leave it here. This is the time where you shout it out. Shout it out. Shout out your channel. Shout out others. You know how it is. Hell yeah, let's do it. Cheers, Bumpy.
All right, well, cheers. Well, I'll shout out Tanner over at East Coast LQ Reviews. He hasn't been doing like a ton of lives lately. He's been kind of mellowing out.
Yeah.
But yeah, still check out his stuff. He still puts up like some beer reviews, and he does different liquors as well. Hence the East Coast LQ. LQ stands for liquor. But yeah, bourbons, tequilas he's been doing, stuff like that. So every now and then he'll go live and do one of his Rate That Beer live streams. We haven't done a whiskey one in a while.
I know. Yeah.
Which is kind of good. It's saving me some money, I guess. But yeah, check him out if you haven't already. Another quick shout out, Chad's Beer Reviews. I just did a show with him. He aired it today, so we did it was a podcast, which was the second part, but that aired first. And then what he just put out today was what we did. It was like a beer school thing on Vienna lagers. So we did both the Boston lager from Sam Adams and the Vienna lager from Von Trapp. Kind of compared them and stuff, and then yeah. So go check that out on his channel if you'd like to. I don't really like watching stuff that I'm a part of, so I haven't watched them yet. I had to like gather up courage. But I'm sure if he edited it, I'm sure he did a good job. Anyway, yeah, on my channel, I was a little bit late today with getting the pizza review out. I put out frozen pizza reviews on Tuesdays, and I thought I had put it on my channel, and apparently I didn't yet. So that did go out a little bit late, but it's out there if you want to watch it. I also put out my beer reviews Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. All those videos normally drop at 11 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Haven't put out any shorts lately with the dogs. So, but if I do, then sometimes I'll have some of those shorts available as well. So
nice. All right, dude. Well, I try to keep up with your stuff. I do my best. I will have to watch Chad's thing. It's cool. He asked me if I had a beer he got from he ordered on Taver or whatever, and if I could find it, then I could maybe jump up with him. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool publicity. It's he's got a lot of subscribers, and so it's fun to get that kind of jump on your channel. So I'm glad that he got you up there and did that. I'll have to watch that. Hell yeah. Thanks, Bump. All right, cheers. And yeah, so as far as my stuff, well, I'll just kind of shout out some people first. I subscribed to some channels this week, but I can't find them. So maybe I need to watch them to put it into my thing. But first one I'll shout, and I shout this guy out a lot, and we know him, is Keep It Funky Beer and Dank Reviews. He puts up a lot of content, like yourself. He's seems to be a daily content uploader, and his last one was the Eternal Shrug Black IPA. I really want to try. I want a black IPA. I've been wanting one for a while. And before that, he does the Stout Sunday, Barrel Aged Stout, aged in charred oak barrels. So yeah, he does a lot. He also does cannabis reviews as well. And then just a couple more here. Northwest Small Batch Brewing. The one after this is one I haven't shouted out before. So Northwest Small Batch Brewing, Mr. Steven, and Paul calls him Steven too. He does Scotch whiskey reviews. He does shorts on Thursdays, and he brews beer. Last thing he did was a marshmallow chocolate stout, which actually sounds good. It sounds really good as far as adjuncts go and all that. Last thing he did as far as a single malt, American single malt, is a gingerbread stout. It's American. Okay, Hardywood gingerbread stout, American single malt. You have to look at that actually. So there you go. And then one more is Andy's Craft. I don't know if I found this guy or someone else did, but he's got 174 strong subscribers, 61 videos. So he's got quite a watch list there. Obviously, less videos, more subscribers says a lot. Go check him out. His last video is what happens when you use real strawberries in beer. It's an 8.5 minute long thing. That was a year ago. Fuck. Come on, dude. Bring out some more videos. As far as my stuff goes, Beer and Cheese Tuesday next week. Same thing. Again, I encourage people to come out and hang out with us and try some beer and cheese if you can. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice 6-man panel here if we can do it. So please let me know, and I'll get you the link. Starts at 8 o'clock, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 my time Pacific. Tomorrow is All Spun Out, and we get 3 words, 3 adjectives spun at the end of the show. You go out and find a beer based on at least one of those. I'd love it if you can at least get 2 words, but 1 word will do. And bring it to the show the following week or whatever, and review it. We'll guess that ABV. You get a winner at the end of the month. Last winner was Bumpy here. Sent him a nice package, nice shirt that fit, I think, well. So I'm glad. Yeah. So I'm going to be brewing Thursday. I'll be doing a 12.5 gallon batch of my Slow People Go Faster Double New England IPA at 8%. That's what I'm shooting for. So I got to get ready tomorrow for that. I'm going to throw it in my big boy fermenter and see how well that does. And after that, we got an American stout I'll be brewing, basically for my wife, so she doesn't have to buy beer. But I'll be trying that as well. I got to send some out to Lep as well. He's been really wanting to try some of my stouts, so I got to get that going. With the Double New England that I'm doing, if that comes out good and we get an 8%, I want to send some to you guys and get a panel going for that, just to try it, just to see, because I feel like I finally found the right base that I like for a New England. It gives me that nice milkiness. It doesn't go away. It's just it's nice, and I like it. And so yeah, we'll see how that works. And I'm going to be ordering also a couple beers for an ordinary bitter, 7-gallon batch, and a Vienna lager coming here soon too for my Spin That Style wheel that I do. So usually on Sundays. But look out for that. Maybe some reviews every once in a while, some crazy shorts that I do. I'm always doing something fucked up. So look out for that shit. And that's really all I got. So just want to say thanks Bumpy for thank you, man, for being here. I really appreciate your patronage and just coming here all the time and being with me on this show. Again, please, anyone else that wants to come up, let's do it. So all you got to do is let me know, and I'll give you that link. So thank you to the chat as well. Thanks for being here. Cheryl, Burley Sullivan, Lonesome Not I, and Tater Dom. Appreciate it. You guys rock. Hell yeah. All right, so this is going to be the last thing I'll say is you guys have a good night, day, wherever you're from in this beautiful world, but not after one more sip. And you got that. One more sip.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, man, that's gotten better with warmer. It's gotten better. That's nice. I love beer. All right, cheers. Cheers.